Yo, people, what's going on? It's a different time on the day, do you know what I mean? It's a bit weird starting at 8:30 or 8:30. You got black people time, it's 8:40, I know. Chill out, calm down. But yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back to review the weekend before the international break. But let's introduce the boys, man. Jeff, what you telling me, bro?
All good, my guy, all good. Good weekend of football, some interesting results. So yeah, man, let's discuss it.
Let's get into it, man. And obviously, whenever Salah does a madness, we see this guy come on. Big up my boy. What are you telling me, my brother?
Bro, I'm enjoying this, man. I'm enjoying it. It was a good weekend of football. Yeah, man. It put me in a good mood for Monday. So yeah, man. Yeah,
good, man. I'm happy to hear that, man. Always positivity is always good. But John's coming on, people. He's just going through a bit of signal issues today. You know, WhatsApp's all down. Facebook's down, Instagram's down. It's all aimed by the same people, man. I don't know what the name is, but it's all aimed. It's all run by the same organization. So it's a bit crazy. But do you know what? I don't want to talk about the weekend stuff right now. Let's just talk about one guy. Let's just get into it right now, man. Let's talk about Salah. No, let's just talk about Salah. Like while we're waiting for John, man, it just makes sense. Like, obviously, I'm a shout out for the rooftop. I think a couple of weeks ago we did the best 10 Premier League players, and I had Salah as number one. I think I was the only one. And obviously, the reason why I said it initially was based on, okay, numbers don't lie, but everyone's not a numbers people. I understand. I'm not going to say that. But when you see him do what he did to City twice, I don't know, he got spun. But a couple of men got spun. What's the kid say nowadays? Got put in a split. Salah's been on crud, man. But Lambs, if you're there, man, I think you froze or something. Maybe I froze. I don't know. Lambs, you froze? Yeah, Lambs is froze, man. Everyone's. But no, Jeff, go on, man.
Yeah,
Talk to you,
man. He's back.
Okay, yeah, Lambs. Yeah, so I was saying, did you hear what I said about Salah?
No. Sorry, I missed it.
Okay, cool. Just give me your thoughts on Salah. Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me your thoughts on Salah and what you think of the guy, man. Just give me your thoughts on Salah, man.
I don't know, man. I think he's underrated. He's very underrated. I think right now he's probably the most consistent player in the Prem. You could argue most consistent player in the world right now. Yeah, man. He when it's big moments, he always turns up. When it's a big game, he always turns up for it. Yeah, man. I've actually run out of words. I've run out of words for him, man. But
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What is it about Salah that people don't like? Because we all watch football. Like, we can see he scores goals. And I'm going to back you on this, yeah? He is probably one of the most consistent players in the world. Fuck the Prem, bro. Let's be real. In the world. Salah's been active. But what is it about him that people's like, I don't rate him? Like, why is he so underrated? What do you think?
Do you know what it is? For me, I think it's just two things. He's not European. I think because he's not European, it plays a big part in it. It does play a big part in it. But the second thing, I think as well, actually, there's three things. The second thing, he's not the best aesthetically. In terms of on the ball, Salah does not look the best. He's not the cleanest dribbler. He's not the cleanest striker of the ball. Even when he sprints with the ball, he's not the cleanest. So I think that's another thing. He's not aesthetically good to look at. He's all right to look at, but he's not a Hazard. He's not a Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not a Messi. And the third thing will be, honestly, he's a Liverpool player. The third thing will be, yeah, man, he's a Liverpool player. I think when you play for Liverpool, it gets like that, man. It gets like that. I think, if you play for Real Madrid, if you play for PSG, I think definitely people rate him a bit more than they're rating him now. But I think, yeah, man, because he plays for Liverpool, he's just not going to get the same respect that players that play for Real Madrid will get.
But you say, I mean, John, I want you to get involved in this as well, but he said that he's not a sexy player to look at, or he don't look good dribbling. My brother, did you not see the game on Sunday, or what? Like, did you miss the game? You see, who got spun? Like a couple of man got spun. Bruno was there, got spun. Cancelo, come on, man. And come on, man. You don't score goals like that, and you don't assist like that. It's disrespectful, man. Come on, man. He looked sexy last week. No homo.
Yo,
Joe, what you said?
Listen, man. Let me come in there, obviously, because this is Lamps' day. Obviously, Salah. This is Lamps' day with Salah. So let me give my piece on Salah, man. The reason I think Salah doesn't get the respect he deserves is because I've said it to this last before. Is I think when you watch Salah, he doesn't give you that feeling that he's clearly better than everyone else on the pitch when he's at his best. What he did yesterday, in terms of especially his second goal, everyone after he scored was like unbelievable, sensational, because you can't take away from it, but we can't act high at the same time and say he does that on a regular basis. There's a reason that most people say he's more goal-centric than more of a dribbler type, because dribbling is not the first natural part of his game. And that's the only reason I feel like Salah gets disrespected, because he gets all the numbers, he scores against big teams, he's done in the Champions League. You can't take any of that away from him. But when the likes of, and it's not even just Hazard, when the likes of Neymar, all these men are at their best, these men don't have to score for people to watch them to be like, raw, this guy's just on another level. And I think the feeling part of it, I think, is why Salah has not been getting the respect until now, probably. So that's where I think it comes down a lot to feeling. You watching someone and thinking, raw, he's just better. It doesn't matter if he scores or assists, he's just better. And I think
But let me ask you a question though, because you mentioned Neymar. Can you tell me the last big performance you've seen from Neymar?
I knew that was coming.
Because I can't personally.
I don't disagree with you there. Disagree with you there. But I'm saying it's like Neymar could be playing against, I don't even know, Strasbourg at home in a meaningless French Ligue 1 game and rip it up, do some mad skills, some mad passing. People would be like, you see, this guy's just at another level. He doesn't even have to score.
So he's aesthetically pleasing. His football is attractive.
Because he could nutmeg. Because he could nutmeg someone.
He can do step overs. He can do step overs and nutmeg and rainbow flicks. But
I don't know if it comes down to just that. Obviously, that plays a part. But
do you know what? Do you know what? It's like Jeff says. Jeff said before, he's got an X factor. You know when we're speaking about players and Jeff was like, he ain't got an X factor. Do you understand what that means? Like he's got something about him. He's got this, like Neymar's got this thing that will make you excited to watch him. That's the X factor. Yeah. Whereas Salah scores these goals here and there. He might score a banger here and there, but it's not week in, week out. If you get what I'm saying, it's not sexy like you said before. Yeah, I think that's what Neymar has. Yeah.
Let me put it to you guys like this, and I'm going to keep Lamps out of this for now only because he's a Liverpool fan, so he roots for that team. Jeff, Jalil, aren't there times when, if it was a Neymar at Barcelona or a Hazard with Chelsea or Ronaldinho back in the day, they could be played against any team in the league. It could be a dead team. But you're like, you know what? I might tune into this game just to see what they're going to do today.
It's happened, yeah.
That's what X Factor does. How many times, and let's be honest, have you seen a game of Liverpool playing someone like against Brighton at home and thought, you know what? Let me see what Salah does to you.
Well, I like Salah, so you're asking the wrong person.
I'm just saying from that perspective, that's what I'm saying.
That's good. That's a fair point you put there. To be fair, but
I'll be honest with you, John. I've never heard of someone saying, "Let me tune into Chelsea versus Brighton so I can see what Hazard does." I'll be honest in saying this, yeah, and I've said this to you multiple times. You and Ed are the only people I know that rate Hazard on the level to where we're saying, well, at a stage, I think Ed, you man was saying he's like the third best player in the world after Messi and Ronaldo at a stage, and I actually don't know anyone.
There was a stage; it was top 5.
But I've heard you say top 3 though. I've been in multiple conversations
that's not mad, when Neymar started dropping off in that, because Neymar,
which is fine, and I'm not even saying it's mad, but I'm saying I've only ever known you and Ed to rate him on that level. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know anyone that says, you know what, I'm having it's a weekend, I'm chilling, let me go watch Chelsea versus Burnley because I want to see what Hazard does. When it's Neymar, you might say, when it's Neymar, you're going to say that because Neymar would do something mad disrespectful on the pitch. But then there was players that were similar to that, and they weren't necessarily world class like that. They were good, they were world class, but they weren't the greatest. So, for example, right, and this isn't because I'm Nigerian, but when JJ Okocha was at Bolton, I used to tune into every single Bolton game because I know the way he plays, and he's a flary player. I used to tune in to watch what's this guy called? Abdel Taarabt.
Correct, yeah.
I used to tune in to watch him because I know he's a flary player. But that doesn't mean he's better than Salah. It doesn't mean he's better than. In fact, he was nowhere near the best players at that stage. But I would tune in to watch him because he's going to do something mad. Same with Ben Arthur. I used to love watching Ben Arthur. St. Maximum is my guy to watch now. Ask my brother. I'll watch any game where that guy's playing.
He's a violator still.
Because I know he's a violator. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think it's... I hear
you 100%, but none of these guys are on Hazard's level.
No, you're right. You're right. None of these guys are on Hazard's level. None of these guys. You're definitely right on that. None of these guys are on Hazard's level. You're right. But still, I've just never heard anyone rate Hazard to the extent where we're talking about.
You know what? I think Hazard. There was a period of time we could have had a nice debate that Hazard was top 3. There was a few times and a few players might fell off.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, but with Salah, like just touching on Salah quickly, with Salah, I think there's 100% an argument to say he's the best in the Prem or he's the most consistent, or to big him up in any way. Salah has to be involved, because for me, I'll be honest, I don't rate you because of the flary, the X factor and stuff. Like, I know numbers obviously tells a different part of the game, but Salah just even in shit games, man, he always comes through for some reason. Like I go back to that. I go back to that Man United game when they were getting back. I think they lost 4-1, but Salah's the only one who turned up. Like, so there's loads of different examples, if that makes sense, about Salah. He's just been consistent, and that's why I was so excited to talk about the top 10. Because when you're thinking about the top 10, you think about who's getting numbers. You've got to bring numbers into the equation. You've got to bring accolades. You've got to bring what they bring to a team. And I think Liverpool do. Like, he is the main man at Liverpool. Like, there ain't no doubt about it. Like,
that's a fact.
You can't talk about anyone else. Like, you've got to put his name into it. So that's why I put him there. But there was an argument to say Salah's not the best as well. When you compare him to other greats. Yeah, there definitely
is.
I can understand why people get onto him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't even think he's. I wouldn't say he's been underrated. I just think again it's that moment thing, man. Like when you have a moment like this, then people are gonna say he's being underrated. In 6 months' time, this is gonna change again. Like out of the top 10 thing, I said he's 4th. That's not underrated.
Yeah, same.
You're 4th.
That's not underrated. Yeah, you're right.
Was that 4th in the world or in the Prem?
In the Prem.
That's not underrated, to be fair. That's actually fair. That's actually right.
Fourth in the Prem for me, man. Is
third because Ronaldo didn't count. We picked Ronaldo just because he was in the group.
I took Ronaldo out of my top 10.
Yeah, I think we have to.
So that falls not in my top 20.
If we're going based off the what do you call it? But if we're saying based off the that list we did, I only picked Ronaldo first because he's on the list. If he's not on the list and it's a fair list based on merit, then yeah, Salah's probably third best in the Prem to me. I still have KDB and Kane ahead. That's just me.
But Harry Kane, yeah. I can't have Harry Kane ahead of Salah, man.
For me, yeah. Because the same reasons that we're giving Salah credit, Kane also does that.
Fair. Yeah, fair.
That's undisputed. Like I don't even have to use the eye test for that. Like I'm just saying, like for what we give Salah credit for, which is deserved, because he's a consistent goal scorer. He pulls through every season. Kane does the same thing. So that's why, for me, I feel like Kane is, especially adding last season into the equation, is just a little bit more. That's just for me. Yeah. But it's not a disrespect. Sorry, it's not a disrespect to say Salah is third best.
Question though, what makes Harry Kane better than Salah? I'm confused. Because that one's confusing.
I think his all-around game is probably better than Salah's.
Mm-hmm. For me,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
No, but if you're going to disagree, what aspects of Salah's game are better than Harry Kane's?
Dribbling.
You're not going to tell me that Salah's a better. You're not going to tell me Salah's a better finisher than Harry Kane.
There's no one in the Prem that's a better finisher.
No, wait. So
we're not gonna see her.
I honestly, no, but I honestly think this is what it is, right? You see. Oh wait, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
You're freezing a bit, but
you're freezing a bit.
I'm delayed.
Yeah, you're delayed.
Hold on.
Well, yeah, while we wait for him to return. Yeah, like I think it's just that moment thing, man, because it's just those top players. Like Salah is a top player in the Prem. No, undisputed. You can say he's probably been the most consistent. I can't argue that because he has. It's been 4 seasons in the Prem. It's been 32 goals. There's been 20-something goals. There's been 19 goals. This season, he's probably going to be on his way to 20 if he doesn't get injured. Like, it happens.
He's a great goal scorer.
Yeah. Kane's going to have a moment this season where it's going to be he's the best player in the league again. KDB's going to have a moment where it's going to be best player in the league. Ronaldo's had his moment where they're like, wow, look at this. Look what Messi's doing over there. Bruno might have his moment. Like, this is just how football goes now. It comes in like patches. So it's Salah's patch. He's got a purple patch at the moment where he's not stopping. And that goal, listen, he violated. I don't know who is it. Cancelo who he held off.
He held off. He violated.
And Laporte as well. Bruno. Sorry.
The finish is being slept on. Right foot, tight angle.
Powerful.
Tight angle. Yeah. No respect.
Just to come back. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, bro.
Okay, cool. With the Harry Kane one, sir, I was gonna say, like, Harry Kane is done. What Salah's done in the Champions League, as well as the Prem, is enough for Salah to be better than Harry Kane. I think as English people, as people that live in England, we respect Harry Kane more than anyone else in the world. So, for example, I speak to people that outside of England, when they hear Harry Kane, they laugh. It's funny to them. Harry Kane is a comical player. He's not, and I don't think he's a comical player, but Harry Kane's not respected like that. When you hear Salah, you mention Salah's name in Spain, they're going to be rattled. They know he's a baller. Harry Kane is just rated in England. He's a domestic level player, nothing more. Nothing more. In the Euros, he was just as bad. In the Euros, he was just as bad. If you can tell me when Harry Kane has done anything on a European stage, he only performed in the Premier League. He is a domestic player. That is it. I don't see.
I remember him having a couple of good games against Juve in the Champions League. The only reason I
was seeing. Yeah.
The only reason I'm going to fight you with that one, Lance, is because I'm sorry, we've got to take this into account. Harry Kane has never played on a team as good as the one Liverpool is right now. That's the last training. He just has not. We always talk about it. Alisson is world class, Trent's world class, Van Dijk's world class, Matip's just below world class, if not world class. Robertson, arguably best left back in the world. Fabinho's world class. Mane's world class. I mean, Thiago's world class. I mean, no offense.
But John,
it makes a difference, bro. Because I'm sorry, I have to say it. Before Salah
it doesn't make a difference.
What was he doing?
John, it doesn't make a difference because then I'll be gonna say Harry Kane's better than Lewandowski. I'll be gonna say Harry Kane's better than Benzema. Because look at the teams Benzema's playing for. Benzema was playing alongside Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Look at who Lewandowski's playing for. So don't use it when it's Salah. Use it for other players then. You can't say that. You have to be consistent. Because then Harry Kane is now the best striker in the world then. Because if you're saying it takes a big club, it's because he's playing for a small club. That's the reason why he's not getting. You know what? Furthermore, I could use that same reasoning for Jamie Vardy. How about that? How about if I told you Jamie Vardy, if Jamie Vardy played for City, he'll be the best striker in the world?
You could say that. It's based off ideals, but you can
what I'm saying is all of these are hypotheticals. I can't judge hypotheticals.
There's got to be an element of eye test to this. We can't just.
So I'm asking, what is the eye test? What is the eye test? Harry Kane right now.
You know about watching Jamie Vardy. He's not good enough for Man City. You know about watching him.
How? But how though?
So I'm saying he's good enough for Man City.
What do you mean? If Gabriel Jesus is, then yes. Gabriel Jesus is good enough for Man City.
Let's say this.
That's why they've shifted him to the right. They play with no striker.
But he's still starting in their team. He's still starting in their team.
You can say Vardy's good enough for Man City, but Man City play a certain kind of football, which is kind of why Vardy didn't want to go Arsenal, right? At the time.
Exactly.
Arsenal play a certain type of football, and Vardy is an out-and-out go-getter. Like, he's about goals. You play the ball over the top, which is what, when Leicester won the title, that's what it proved. Like, they play balls over the top. He's rapid, even at 34, and he's going to batter the goal every time. It's a little different. Like, Kane is more transferable into any kind of style of team for me, because he's a more traditional number 9 and he can score.
So does that mean Kane's better than Lewandowski then?
No, that doesn't mean that.
But why not? Lewandowski's played for a German mafia club in Bayern Munich. And the reason why I put him in a mafia club is because they run the whole German league. They literally can pick players from any team they want. In fact, they can pick the manager from their biggest rivals and say, listen, come in, you work for us, right? Now, Lewandowski stayed in this team for basically for the majority of his career.
He stayed in this.
He won 2 times with Dortmund, fair enough, but he stayed in this team. He has. But for the majority, he stayed in this Bayern Munich team. Now, I can say to you, if you put Harry Kane in Bayern Munich, he would score the same amount of goals as Lewandowski. So because of that, I think Harry Kane is better than Lewandowski. But what I'm saying is that kind of argument, I'm not going to use that argument because it's mad hypothetical. Because you move to a better team does not mean you're going to score more goals. It does not mean you're going to play better football. It does not mean you're going to look better. Because I guarantee you, I can put this on everything. If Harry Kane goes to Manchester City, he will show you who he really is. He will show you who he really is. He will show you who he really is. I think he'll flop.
He'll flop. Meaning he'll flop. I knew you were going to say that.
But you know the reason why I'm saying that. It's a hypothetical. It is a hypothetical.
I hear you, but bro, this is where you got. All right, let's all be honest about this. Before Salah went to Liverpool, what was he in the football world?
Okay. Before Salah went to Liverpool, he was playing for who? He played for Roma. And then he played for Fiorentina. But he was, to be fair though, in Roma he was scoring 14, 15 goals a season from the wing. So it's not like he wasn't a solid player. By the way, he was a solid player.
What was the feeling of him over here though?
What was the feeling of him over here?
I can tell you my feeling.
Okay, what was it? When we signed Salah, I was angry. I thought it was a rubbish signing. I was annoyed. I was annoyed by the signing. I'll be honest in saying that. I was annoyed by the signing. But Harry Kane,
I had a similar thing.
Yeah, I was quite annoyed. I thought this is a weird signing. 35 million doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, what's that got to do with Harry Kane?
I'm saying Harry Kane has at least in some level got an established name. We can't take away what he's done. His goal record in the Premier League is incredible.
John, I'm asking.
We got to admit, one thing that we also have to admit is we all know that 10, 15 years ago, the norm for strikers was 1 in 2 games. That's a solid ratio, right? Now it's pretty much 1 in 1 game is almost like the norm now. Numbers are inflated now. Forwards. We can't compare numbers for forward nowadays to forward back then, because otherwise guys like Lukaku was better than some guys back in the day that he's not even close to. But I'm just saying with Salah, like Jeff said, like you said, no one had this feeling when he came here. He was just like, okay, let's see what he does.
But who had this? But I'm saying, how old was Salah when he came to Liverpool? How old was
29 now, so he was 25.
25, yeah, 25.
25 years old, playing in the Italian league. No one had the feeling about him. Okay, but what to me, why that doesn't? I can't, man. I can't.
We can say this.
Harry Kane. Who was Harry Kane? When I heard of that, when you first saw Harry Kane start for Tottenham, you didn't think anything of him.
No,
so
you're right.
You've got to start from somewhere. You've got to start from somewhere.
The Salah point,
Salah,
I get it, because
Salah in Italy. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was saying that the Salah bit. I get what was I saying? That like he proved himself to us. Really, he's proved me wrong. Like in the first season, he proved me wrong. I thought this guy's a Chelsea like reject. Mourinho just kind of let this guy go. He scored 2 goals. He was this guy who just did a lot of tricks back then. He's reinvented himself and he's come back a killer. Like that can't be disputed. Like I'm not even like that. I'm not even really using the necessarily that comparison with Kane. I just feel Kane's a better player. It's very close. It's just it's a subjective thing, really. Like I don't think
right now.
No. Right now, Salah's the best player in the Prem. But that's gonna. Okay. My point is, I think you would even gone off by this point. It's gonna change every few months. This is Salah's purple patch. Bruno is gonna have his time, whether you like him or not. KDB is gonna have his time. He's 70% fit. Van Dijk is gonna have his time again if it's not happened. Ronaldo's had his time just a game or two ago. When man say, "Whoa, this 36-year-old is still doing bits." It's crazy. Like it just. You know what? You see what I'm saying? Like it just
don't mention that guy. Listen. Listen. Lamps, and I'm not going to even get onto Lamps because I want to bring Jalou in. I'm not even going to get because Lamps has been consistent on this point about Salah. But all I want to say, because Jeff and Jalou have made this point, it's a great one. Before Salah's goal yesterday, who was saying he was the best player in the world?
In the world?
I wasn't saying.
Because that's what we're seeing now on social media. We can't act like we haven't seen it today and yesterday.
That's exactly
We've
what they're
been
saying.
Seeing it. Salah is the best player in the world. So I'm saying before that goal yesterday, who was saying that? Lamps, I know you were consistent on it. This is not even to get on to you. You've been consistent. Jalil, were you saying he was the best player in the world before that goal yesterday? Your smile, your laugh. Oh, no, sir. This is my point.
But I don't think Salah's the best player in the world. I don't think so. I think anyone saying I think Messi's the best player in the world, and anyone saying Salah is the best player in the world is obviously that's a reaction. That's just a strange thing to say. But to say Salah is the best player in the Prem, I've seen people say this for years. I've seen people say this for years. I don't think I've never. Only English people respect Harry Kane on that level, man, and that's me keeping it real with you, innit?
I think
only
that's
English people.
I don't want that.
No, it's true. Only English people respect Harry Kane on that level, like that. Because
you can say Kane's one of the best in the Prem. Like it's not like to say it's just English people is now marginalizing the guy's talent. You can't say it's just English people saying that.
No, but it's facts though. Like if it's not just English people, it's the majority English people. The same way, for example, right? I'm biased when it comes to Liverpool, but I'm going to be honest. If there was a man of the match for the Manchester City Liverpool game, it had to be between Bernardo Silva and
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva and Mo Salah, but I'll give it to Bernardo. You know, when John, when you said it in the chat, I thought, this don't make sense. But then I thought about it, and
no. But Salah for me was man of the match. But if we're going to get to someone else and we're going to look at the whole world game, it will be Bernardo Silva. But I give it to Salah.
No, but that's the thing, right? So with Bernardo Silva,
I was just going to say that I would have given it to Bernardo Silva, but again, there's definitely a preference thing because me, I like my midfielders, my technical ones, so I would have given it to him. But I said if you don't give it to him, Salah has to get it. Forget all this sharing Phil Foden thing. You can't do what Salah did in the second half and not get it. Like. Salah had to get it. If it wasn't Bernardo Silva, which I get why he wouldn't get it, it had to be Salah. It had to be undisputed. And that's why Gary Neville was saying Salah, he still feels like Salah gets a little bit of hate. But these guys don't know. They're part of the people that still hate on him.
No, they are, John. And that's exactly what I was going to say, right? So in this country, it's quite strange, right? Because the way we overrate our players. I respect Foden. I think Foden's a great player, but he was playing against James Milner, a 40-year-old midfielder who's out of position.
No, Milner had a game.
Milner should have been sent off. Milner should have been sent off probably 5 times in that game, if we're keeping it real. And he gave away a penalty. Like the whole thing was a disaster. Now, what I'm saying is this: you could have put any winger on there against James Milner, and they would have torn him up. You could have put Oxlade-Chamberlain up against James Milner there, and he would have torn him up.
Yo.
I just think
Don't call James like that, bro.
no, James Milner's not. Okay, maybe not Oxlade Chamberlain. Maybe not Oxlade Chamberlain.
Not that man.
But in all honesty, I've seen James Milner get ripped even worse by other players. So I get it. Foden, I get it. Young English player, you want to hype him up. I get it, man. Honestly, I get it. But it could have been anyone on that side of the pitch. In fact, I'll be honest with you. If it was Mahrez, you know, James Milner might have gone to Klopp that evening and said, listen, mate, I'm retiring. Forget it. There's no problem. I don't even want to turn up. I do not want to come to another training session. I'm retiring. If it was Mahrez, but guess what wouldn't have happened? Mahrez wouldn't have got a joint man in the match. But when it's English players and when it's England now, we overrate our players. And that's why I was so happy in a way where when England went to the Euros, you didn't see the Fodens in that turn up. These guys don't exist because when Hakimi's lining up to play City and he says Grealish, he's laughing. Who is that? In his head, he's thinking, who is this guy? But in England, these guys said they cause so much fear. Oh my gosh, Jack Grealish. No, like it's just man. I don't buy into it.
Wait. You don't think Jack Grealish is a good player?
No. It's not that. I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So you know when we played Real Madrid in the Champions League final, right? And I was so angry. I was Real Madrid when they beat us 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I was so angry, but I was so angry at this when I heard it being said, right? Guillem Balaguer said, they asked Guillem Balaguer, they said, how is the attitude in Madrid right now? Guillem Balaguer said, do you want me to be honest with you? He said, in Spain, they're laughing. He said they are laughing at Liverpool. That's what he said. They were showing training videos. That man were joking around. Ronaldo was sizing up Salah before the game as if it was a piece of meat. It was a joke. Sergio Ramos knew the game plan. When I get on the pitch, I'm going to injure Salah. They didn't respect us. When they played us, they did not respect us. I'm going to keep it real with you. They did not respect us.
So let me just comment.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, actually, I want to get Jalil in on this because I want to touch on Jack Grealish now because it's a good segue into him. But let me just bring in a little bit of a shameless plug. Given the fact, as you said, Lamps, this is England. And we've had Wayne Rooney, Harry Kane, and everything. Doesn't it say something that Hazard had the most man of the match awards?
It does. It does.
How did he do this?
John, I've never. John, here's the thing. I've never disrespected. I've never disrespected Hazard as a player. I've never and when I cuss Hazard is for bans. Hazard, honestly,
I know.
You're never gonna see a player like Hazard again. That's the truth.
How we talking about Hazard? He's not in the Prem anymore.
Ron's good at this, man.
You're never gonna see a player like Hazard again. But the thing is, when they said that whole thing about Hazard might be better than Henry, who said that?
You know who said that?
But no, I don't think he's better than Henry. But yeah, Hazard's a baller. But yeah, my thing is this: when it's England, we rate our players too much, man. We rate our players too much. And then they go to the World Cup and they get shown up. They go to the Euros and they get shown up. And then you realize, hold on a minute.
Wait, what? Chill. Did England get shown up this year?
I think he's talking about the individual players.
I'm talking about the individual players, and I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about in general, right? So I remember, I can't remember what song it was where it was like, when we're thinking of Rooney and all the things that he can do, we're gonna win a World Cup. Something like that. It was like an old. It was like an old. No, it was an old World Cup song. I can't. Wait, what World Cup song was that? The Rooney one.
Maybe 2018.
Yeah. It's at primary school times.
So basically, lad, what you're saying is, yeah, when England plays big up their players, you want you just don't understand it because you think they're shit. Is it like Italy when Chiellini's at the back and they're like he's the best centre back because they know they love and respect him.
No, it's not even that. It's English people overrate their talent. So, for example,
I think all countries do. I think France do it with Pogba and Mbappe. I think Spain does it with well, Spain's got a good team, so I'll probably pick anyone. But
okay, so I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? So there was a World Cup. I think it was a World Cup where was it a World Cup or Euros? I can't even remember now, but I know Italy have knocked out England. They beat them on penalty. Was it penalties? Or it was the game where Pirlo ran England. Pirlo destroyed England.
Oh yeah,
06 or something.
And I would never forget. And I would never ever in my life forget this. Right? I can't ever forget it because it made me so sick. At the end of the game, they were given a post. The pundits were talking about the game, like post match. And one of them said this. They said the problem with us is we didn't have our Pirlo. And then I think Jamie Redknapp or one of these crackheads said, no, we did have our Pirlo. He said, no, we did have our Pirlo. Our Pirlo was just injured. Guess who they were referring to?
Jack Wilshere?
Jack Wilshere. You see the kind of disrespect I'm talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's crazy to me. You have to be insane to even think it's normal to say something
Jack,
like that.
bro, big up
You
Jack.
have to think this.
they meant it. They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it like that, though.
What I'm just saying is right, though.
No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't be. No, they shouldn't be in the same sentence. It's disrespectful.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
disrespectful.
That's
They
a
should
fact.
not be in the same sentence. Foden's not been in the league for that long, and we're doing man of the matches. Why? Because we want to disrespect Salah and give the credit to. Why are we giving the credit to Foden? He came up against Milner.
If we do this though, yeah, and we say like in
Yeah.
comparison, what do they do now? Goal involvements, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, goal involvement.
They're equal. Like,
They are
Salah's,
equal, but I think
and if we compare goals, of course, Salah's goal that's of the highest quality, but for different reasons, so is Foden's. Foden's goal is a very, 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 very good finish.
Yeah,
very good finish. It was, in fact, one of the best finishes I've seen this year because he's looked away. I watched it closer. He's actually looked away. It was a no-look finish. That was mad. It was a very, very mad goal. It was a no-look finish. It was a mad goal. But I'm not going to act like this guy wasn't in clear space because James Milner is not a right back, and he's clearly out of his depth. He's clearly out of his depth. So we have to take a couple things into consideration. But at the same time, Foden can only deal with what's in front of him, and he did it.
That's the
and he did it.
Yeah,
and he did it.
Go on, Jeff.
Foden played. I still would have given it to Salah over Foden personally, but Foden was supreme. Like especially because Grealish has been playing there, and Grealish played central. Or he's played like false nine that game, but Foden left wing he was scary. Like he was of course it's only Milner.
He was
no disrespect to Milner, but Milner's
was very good,
journeyman. But he really destroyed him. Like he really did. Like Milner, don't worry, Milner did better in the second half. Like he actually did well in the second half. Before
really, he should have been off.
No, before that, like I thought he was actually playing really well. Like he was stepping forward. Like because the problem before was Foden was getting in behind, and you saw the penalty. That is a stonewall penalty. It's a stonewall red card. But before that, for that like 25, 27 minutes of that second half, Milner was doing the right thing.
And this is another thing. I'm sorry, man, but if James Milner wasn't English, he would have been sent off. I personally think he would have been off the pitch. I think he would have been off the. You won't have Undembele running around doing that. They're getting him off. He's getting out of it.
I don't know if it's that. It might be a Liverpool
getting him
thing.
Off. No,
you guys got away with two things that game.
They respect.
You don't
James
think
Milner
it's
too much?
the Anfield crowd lamps might have had an impact?
No, man. No, man. If it was Joe Gomez, he would have been off. He would have been off.
So you think
if it was Naby Keita, he would have been off. It's no. It's not.
So it's a race thing. Is it a race thing then?
No, it's not a case of racism. James Milner's a well-respected person in the Prem.
Yeah.
The refs probably love him. Like James Milner is the poster boy for hard work, English grit.
He's actually a good player though. Milner's actually a good player.
He is. I'll never disrespect him. I'll never disrespect him as a player. Right now he's finished, but James Milner has had a solid career. He's had a solid career. But the refs probably love him, man. James Milner probably had a nice chat with the ref before the game. Like he's a likable English. He stands for everything that's English. With Naby Keita, it would not have been the case. He would have been off the pitch.
Yeah,
he would have been out of
it. Would have been off in the first half.
Of course, he would have been out of it. He would have been out of it. James Milner, I don't know how James Milner stayed on the. It doesn't. Foden's through on goal. You push his back. You should have been sent off then. He should. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And then he whacked clear Bernardo. You know what annoyed me about when he whacked Bernardo Silva clean through? He just
Silva was on a run.
It wasn't even Milner's reaction because Milner walked away because he knows that should be off.
Henderson's reaction made me sick.
It's that fool Henderson.
Henderson made me sick.
Who was dropping a disaster class that no one wants to talk about.
Game.
Oh no,
he said down to Bernardo Silva like, get up. How about you focus on your game? Listen, let me not even.
Wow, he's angry. Why is so angry?
You know what? No, but John, you know what it is? It's just dumb things that I remember. I can't remember who's fouled Lionel Messi. And then Lionel Messi's on the floor, and Robertson's run from behind and pushed his head, and then ran past him.
Robertson knew to apologize to Messi afterwards.
No, but that's what you're meant to do. In all fairness, though, that's what you're meant to do. It doesn't matter. Put it this way: if I'm playing against someone who I know is better than me, run past me and see what happens to you. I'm kicking you down every time. I'm gonna push your head. Don't run past me. You can't do that.
Man. Come on, you gotta be clean, bro. Come on.
No, I hear that, but there's a finesse to doing it. Like Sergio Ramos would break your arm in the most beautiful way. He'll break your arm in such a beautiful way.
We're only highlighting the Salah one. That was exemplary. We've also seen Ramos do blatant 2 foots, slap Puyol, slap Busquets, slap everyone, and get sent off. Like he's not as discreet as that situation.
We saw Pepe purposely step on Messi's hand.
Yeah. We see Casemiro knocked out Messi. No, Marcelo knocked out Messi's tooth. Like there's ways you gotta play the game. It didn't stop that.
Who do you think's worse, Pepe or Sergio Ramos? Because I think Pepe is the real madman.
Pepe's worse.
I think Pepe.
Pepe's had bad incidents. Ramos has had 30-something red cards.
Bro,
come on,
bro.
There's one guy.
Ramos has never kicked someone while on the floor twice. That was live assault.
He could have gone to jail for that.
The guy in the back while he was on the floor twice. Then the next man comes in. The next man is not even trying to brash Pepe. He's like, "Yo, what you doing?" Bangs him in the chin. Then next man, like, "Yo, how is this allowed?" Then Pepe did a post-game interview where he said, "I'm actually a nice guy outside of football." I'm like, bro, you just committed live assault.
And do you know what it is about Pepe? He looks mad. Like he legit looks like a madman.
He looks unhinged.
Like, Ramos looks like a model. Pepe looks like a genuine madman. Like, but there's one guy who's who you never got to see on the pitch because he never played. But I actually believe he might have been the maddest out of all of them. What's this Barcelona? Pinto had a problem.
The goalie.
Yeah, Pinto was only there for the beef. Pinto was only there for the beat.
That's all he was
absolute
That's
smoke.
all he was there for. That is.
We might have to do an episode on. We might have to do an episode on the
hardest
most
men,
fearsome players in football.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yo,
you know what? Wait, before we do that, do you know who comes to mind when you think you look at football? You're like, raw. I'm glad I never played against him.
Sure.
I got one. I'm going to say it. He was even dirty. I'm going to say, what's that brother? Abdullah Faye.
The midfielder.
Abdullah Faye, yeah. You know what? I'm going to get a picture of him on Google. That guy, yeah. Nah, man. Abdullah
He looks intimidating. Tall and dark.
He was a problem. Abdullah Faye.
No, who you got?
There's not many because I'm quite a rough player. I like the beef and that, so it's a bit weird. There's players that don't want to play against. No one that scares me, but there's people like if there was a Messi, I wouldn't want to play against him. Like it just goes without being said. I'm not trying to be boy tight. I'm a defender. I'm not trying to get dropped and be put in a split as the kids are saying these days. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's who scared me.
Hey, that's your big guy, man. So that might not scare you.
Yeah, small guys. Well, you boys have seen me play football. The small guy. Jeff, like Lack. You know that Lack? The small guys. They're hard to grab. I spoke to him the other day. I know you keep moving, but him playing like him, yeah.
Who's going off for a header against this guy? Who's going off for a header against this guy?
Abdullah, fine.
Who's going off for a header against him?
Forget it.
I'd love to.
No one's going up for a header against him, bro.
Nah,
you're gonna lose.
No, bro. He was a madman.
I'd love to go up against him, but yeah, no. I mean, like small for me, for someone as big as me, for small players, man. Like my boy Lack, who Jeff knows, man. Like he just runs right around big guys because his movement's kind of mad, and I'd rather go up against someone like Lukaku or something up top because I can have a proper battle. I don't want to fucking go up against someone like Messi, someone small who I've got to fucking chase, and then just get put out of position every 5 minutes. It don't make sense.
No, but we're talking about who would you be like in terms of like fear, like actual, not like like fear.
No big guys fear me though.
He's big,
no big guys fear me at all, bro. That's what I'm saying. I love beef as well on the pitch, man. I like to get into a bit of a scrap. So yeah, no big guys fear me, man.
Yeah, Vinny Jones is mine.
Who?
Vinny Jones. That guy's filthy.
That man. Wow.
Filthy.
Yeah, Vinny Jones is a.
Don't let the ball be half a yard where you can make a challenge. That might be your career over,
bro. Some of the tackles he used. What was that Wimbledon team? Crazy Gang. Oh my god.
Crazy Gang.
Fashion.
I'd pull a hamstring before the game. I said I'm not playing today. It's not working. Why am I playing to get injured? No. But listen, let's move on, man. That was a good chat. End of the day, big up Salah. Absolutely brilliant yesterday. I can't take away from you. Me and Lamps, we banner a lot about Salah and Hazard off chat, but I think we both respect both of them.
Of course.
And I think if Salah keeps doing what he's doing now, then he's at the moment. He's the only.
Who's had a better season, Hazard or Salah? Let's just go around, man, and say it, man. Who's
better season?
I mean, but sorry.
Listen.
Oh. I put a signal it. Wait.
You know the rules.
Who's had a better? If they both retired today, who had a better career?
Goes to one guy, don't
today, it? Who had a better
don't
career.
Go to Eden. It goes on what you want.
Hazard's had a better career.
It goes on what you want. Where did it lead to?
To be fair, Hazard's had a better career, but I actually think Hazard wouldn't be as satisfied as Salah.
So wait, how's Hazard had a better career?
I mean, more league titles, probably more individual prizes. The only thing he hasn't got that Salah has is the Champions League, and that's a huge one. But yeah,
and then Salah's a record breaker. Salah's a record breaker as well. Though. So it depends. To be fair, I think actually, you know what? I'll say Salah. The Champions League is bigger than you think. It's a massive thing for European players. For European players, for European players, it's massive, man. In club football, as a European player in Europe, the Champions League is something else. There's a reason why Pep would die for a Champions League right now for Man City. Obviously, Pep's got it already for other teams, but he would die for a Champions League with Man City. And I think he's not going to retire until he wins that Champions League with Man City because I think he's going to feel
gone by
as if he hasn't achieved. You think so? Yeah,
he'll be gone 100%. I think I'm almost 100%.
I think he's going to have to win the Champions League, but you know why they don't win the Champions League? I think it goes back to what I said before. It's a respect thing. So the first time I ever saw City in the Champions League and properly paid attention to them, they were getting slapped by Lyon. And I think Lyon actually caused them trouble home and away. But let's be real. Let's keep it real. Lyon were average French side. But because they're not in the Premier League, they don't have respect for Manchester City. So they don't care. You think they know who? They don't care about these guys. We're going to come out and play our game. Whereas, if you look at the game this weekend, right, between City and Liverpool, they've not had too much respect for each other. In fact, they had so much respect for each other. Did you notice when it got to the end of the game, De Bruyne said to Kyle Walker, listen, go back and defend, man. We're happy with the draw. They both gave up towards the end. I think they had blown their gaskets, but they both gave up and said, you know what? It was a tough battle. Let's call it where it is, man.
It was.
Well, you know what? And I'll come to you, Jalil, because I think actually, Lambs, that's actually a great question that you asked. Why do you guys think that Salah had a better career than Hazard?
I have to put it down to the Champions League, man. I know what you're saying. Because wait, Hazard's won, what is it, 2 or 3 Prems?
2 Prems.
He's won 2 Prems. Yeah, but 2 Prems and Salah's won a Prem in the Champions League. I know Hazard's won stuff in the French league, but I don't really think no one's going to count that.
Mine comes down to consistency, man. Salah's very consistent, man. For me personally, like this is
dangerous. Consistency the dangerous one, because Hazard's 1 year older than Salah. And before 2017, if you ask this question, no one even knows who Salah is to Hazard.
So how consistent? No, sorry. How consistent? How in the space of runs? How consistent was Hazard? Did he ever take a break?
I would say he was in the Prem 7 years, and he made the PFA Team of the Year 5 times.
I think Salah's made it 3 times now.
1 time only.
Yeah, I think we know that's a bit.
We know he's been checked, but I'm saying you guys are quick to cost Hazard for inconsistencies.
I'm not costing Hazard. I'm not costing
Hazard. 5 times out of 7. 5 times out of 7.
But John, you know what it is with Hazard though. You know he's at his prime age, and his prime age he's not doing anything, and that's the problem.
That's what it is. It's the reason.
That's the problem.
They've almost had it backwards, where Salah
exactly.
Hazard, it's just
had a good start. Now I'll be honest with you.
I'll say so. Last thing for me, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, I think there's better managers in the Prem at the moment. I think there's better players in teams at the moment. There's more of a battle for the top 4 because it's arguably when Hazard was doing it, it was either him or United. It was Chelsea or United or something. Liverpool was never up there like that. City was just coming up during the time when Hazard was there. But if you look at it now for Salah, it should be a lot more difficult for Salah at the moment. If he's competing against a lot of different players who just park the bus. Hazard didn't have part of the bus. Look at him against Arsenal.
Of course Hazard had part of the bus. Mourinho had specific man marking him.
Hazard's playing for a very expensive Chelsea side as well. Like I think like Hazard was playing. I don't know. Look, it's one of those things where it's honestly it's down to an opinion. It's just opinion because
the Madrid thing has severely hit Hazard, and people have forgotten what he did at Chelsea because now people are ignoring. Everything.
But John, that's normal though.
You know what it is.
But John, you know Salah before. You know Salah. Wait, sorry, 2 seconds. You know Salah before Liverpool, right? He was at Roma and then Fiorentina, right? He was only bad at Chelsea. If we're being fair.
No, bro. He was good. He was good. I'm not saying Salah was bad at them teams. I'm just saying he wasn't.
But what I'm saying is, I hear that. But what I'm saying is, you know what Hazard is going through now is borderline embarrassing. When you think of who he was, and you think about, the guy was bought. He was one of the biggest signings when he was bought for Real Madrid. Like, there's no reason why Hazard is on the pitch against Sheriff, and he's not showing out. Do you get what I'm saying? It's things like that.
I hear you. That's the type of game you take the piss in before, but
that's the type of game you have to take the piss.
He's finished,
but
he's just.
But here's the thing. If Hazard returns back to anywhere near, even if he's half as good as what he was, and he returns back to that, bro, people still talk about him. Hazard don't have to be.
He's not going to be memorable. Like, if you're going on ability, we've had this discussion so many times. The Hazard Bale thing, it's just kind of similar. It's the same kind of logic to me. Like, if you're going on ability, Hazard is better than most. He's up there on ability.
Of course.
We don't care. Like, it doesn't matter on your ability for me.
The Bell one, I'm not having this. Bell was considered.
I'm not even bringing this up. I'm not bringing it up to have it. I'm just bringing it up to show you. I'm bringing it up to show you. I'm bringing it up to show you that we don't care about your ability, bro. Don't care how pretty it looks. We care about efficiency. So I don't care about how pretty Hazard looks sometimes.
So if he was so inconsistent, Jeff, why did he make the team of the year 5 times out of 7?
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying when his seasons were bad, they were awful though, right?
He had one bad season. You keep saying the seasons. He had one bad season at Chelsea.
Two. He had two bad seasons.
What was the second bad one? What was
I can't remember. I don't remember the year. It was definitely two. Though.
He did have two bad. He did have.
What
two
was the
bad
second
ones.
bad one?
So I can't give you a date, so you can't
the
get
second
that.
One might
people say things that they don't remember.
I watch a lot of football. So.
You can't give us guy a bad season and you don't remember it.
There's a lot of things that go on. You might not pinpoint the season. You can remember the period though.
No, Chelsea weren't. No, you know what it is. I was gonna say the 2017-2018 Hazard, but then Chelsea were bad that year in general.
Exactly, and he made team of the year or something like that.
That doesn't even make sense. So how did he make team of the year when Chelsea finished?
I don't know how.
No one turned up.
No. Chelsea finished 10th in 2016, 2015-16. They finished 10th, and that's the disgraceful season where Hazard was a joke.
2017-2018.
They finished 5th, right?
2018.
And they won the FA Cup, and he won the FA Cup for them. I'm sure he did.
2017-18, did you say?
Yeah,
he won the FA Cup.
Ain't that the Conte year?
Yeah, the second Conte year. The first Conte year, they won the league. The second one, he was
unplayable there.
Hazard wasn't in the PFA team in the 2017 one. 2018. He wasn't in there.
He wasn't 16-17.
No, 17-18. Hazard wasn't that good in 17-18, but Chelsea weren't that good. I think that's when Chelsea finished 5th.
Yeah, they finished 5th.
I'm not gonna put that down to Hazard because he was probably.
That's what I'm saying. To tag that as a bad season.
He wasn't good that season. But
how's it harsh?
It is because say someone had all right. So how many bad seasons has Bill had?
Bill, he's had probably 3, 2 or 3.
No, but John, you know why it's not harsh? The sort of season that Eden Hazard had 2017-2018 is similar to the type of season Sadio Mane had last season, and people said it was a bad season. So you have to be.
What year did Fergie leave United?
2012, 2013.
Yeah. Since then, I'm not surprised because let's be real. Whenever we see a good United team, until like now, kinda with all these star players.
Now that's questionable.
That's what I'm saying. Chelsea haven't really had competition, and arguably United's been the biggest competition. Arsenal's been up there a few times, top 4. But you know what we're about. City's been up and coming, doing the business. Just as soon as Fergie left, so they've been up and down. Liverpool ain't really been there. So that's what I'm saying. Chelsea's been hasn't been in the best team, so of course he's going to be better. There's no competition today like there is for Salah. That's my whole debate.
There's an argument to say that the last year Prem was the worst ever. There's definitely an argument to say that last year's Prem
Liverpool, but last year's Prem was bad because Liverpool lost all their players.
Yeah, but I'm saying the general form of the league last year
wasn't good.
It wasn't good, and plus
football isn't good.
Yeah, exactly. As Jeff knows, and what I'm saying is, the first 2 years Salah's done in this league, Hazard was there too, and Hazard was doing well in that period. So I'm saying, if Hazard was doing well in the bad league, then does that mean that Salah, the year he broke the goals record, did in a shit league? Is that what we're saying?
No.
Say that again.
I'm saying if Hazard was doing well from like 2017 to 2019, right? Salah was in the league then too. And that's when he broke the goals record for the Prem.
2017, 2018. Yeah.
So I'm saying if the league was bad and it was easy for Chelsea, that means it was easy for Salah too.
It's his first season. It wouldn't have been easy for Salah.
I wouldn't have said
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the competition.
And Liverpool had just got back into the top 4. We just got back into the top 4. That was the first season back in the top 4. So
I have a question for you, John. Hazard or Neymar? Because you love Hazard.
Hazard.
And they got this. To me, their career it's almost identical.
There's 2 Neymars. There's the black Neymar, and then there's the PSG Neymar.
But again, it's the same thing again. Neymar at PSG is just. I mean, again, Neymar's got a Champions League, so you could say that puts him over. But then again, Hazard never played with Prime Messi, Prime Suarez,
Messi and Suarez,
all them, man. So you could say, I mean, yeah. But then are we gonna say Salah has had a better career than Neymar?
Yes.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't had a better career than Neymar. But I think Hazard and Salah are better than Neymar.
Yeah, all right. At least Jeff is consistent. That makes sense.
Neymar and Hazard are the flag. Like their flag, it looks superb. Like when they're on their job, it's sensational. You choose when you're on your job. I'm not for that. Like I like efficiency. I don't just care about the ability side of things. I care about
But Jeff, to be fair.
You get from one route to the other in the quickest possible time. Like Neymar, you got all of these frills. It looks sensational, but you don't deliver on a consistent enough basis for it to matter to me.
I think Neymar's to be fair than Hazard. To be fair,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hazard
doesn't really do skills like that, to be honest.
No, but Hazard, it's still more attractive on the eye. Like Hazard is supreme dribbling, like supreme dribbling.
Yeah.
Hazard. I haven't really seen a game where Neymar has been in the recent. Actually, no, I have, but that would be when Barcelona came back against who have they come back against? PSG. Yeah,
oh, that's 4 years ago.
That's when Neymar was unplayable. But other than that, I can't recall many. I can't recall many performances where Neymar's been unplayable. But Hazard, I can recall many performances where Hazard was literally unplayable, where the only way to get him off the pitch is if you just shoot him dead. Literally, that was not like real talk. That I've seen Hazard. I'm talking when Coquelin was spinning round in circles. Hazard. I'm talking when Hazard came on.
No, that was embarrassing.
Emphasis on Coquelin's name.
And Coquelin's not a bad player though. If we keep it real, he's not a bad player. He's not.
Is he good?
He's not bad. He's all right. He's all right. When Hazard came on against Liverpool and twisted up the whole of Liverpool's team and the solo goal, Hazard. There's games where Hazard is just unplayable, and I've seen that. But maybe that's because I watch Prem more than I watch. I just haven't seen a Neymar game yet where I've said, you know what, this guy.
2015, he was on. Or when I think that's the year they won it, right? When they beat Juve in the final, and it was MSN.
Yeah,
Neymar was unplayable all year.
Yeah,
all year.
No, I said that.
I think he pretty much scored in every knockout tie that year. That was
unplayable.
I hear you. No, I hear you.
Neymar ruined himself.
No, but John, you see, I hear that.
Took a risk and it didn't work out.
I've seen Hazard unplayable with bad players around him. I've never seen Neymar unplayable with bad players around him. Everywhere he looks, there's a world-class player around him. Neymar, when he was playing for Barcelona. Hazard, I've seen Hazard look around, and there's legit bad players.
Like Marcus Alonso,
Marcus Alonso. And you know what? To be fair, I like Marcus Alonso.
David Luiz.
Yeah, like I've seen him do it, man. So I think Hazard's better than Neymar. Personally, but John, I've always said that. The way people rate Neymar, I don't rate Neymar the way people rate him. I rate Barcelona Neymar. But I've
said this for years. It's just that I got so much. I'm not going into it, but you know who we're talking about. I don't even need to bring it up again. But
wait, who?
Bell.
Yeah,
that guy.
I don't care about no name. I don't care about your tricks, bro. Like you're not like if you're going off your gifted like ability, he's up there in terms of best players I've ever seen in the world. He's definitely up there. No, Neymar, no Bell. Like Bell, not an ability. Like Bell, that it's just had some scary seasons. But like Neymar's up there in terms of most gifted. Pogba's up there in terms of most gifted. I just don't care about it. It don't matter because you don't produce every week. It's not like it's Ronaldinho and it was 2 years of absolute magic. Like it was where I can still have you in my top 5. You guys you do it when you feel like it, and you don't feel like it half the time. So go sit down somewhere.
But you know this is the thing, and big up our guy Rash. Hope you're doing good. This is why I say there's a lot of recency bias. There's a lot of recency bias to this because I remember. Before Jeff joined the show, me, Jalil, and Rash did a thing where we had to rank the wingers. And Jalil and Rash both picked Hazard and Neymar over Salah. So I'm curious to know how in less than a year's time, when he won nothing, when he's won nothing in that period, you're now both saying Salah over Hazard.
He watched us this before, to be fair. And I think me and Jeff...
I want to know how it switched.
No. What I'm saying is, you've asked us before, and I always say things change. People's mind can change on people like that.
Yeah.
For me, I think we only rated them on ability. We didn't rate them who's the best. If it was the best, then I would have checked.
And
not even that, John.
I think that's what we were ranking on before. So for me, yeah, as I said before, I think things change. Salah. I've always rated Salah, to be fair. But I've always rated Hazard, Neymar, everyone. I've always rated all of them. I've never not rated them. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of preference for me, you know me, I don't really care about the skinny thing. You know me, I'm more of a defender, more of a midfielder kind of guy. You can do skills, but you're not going to beat me anyway. Do you know what I mean? As a defender. So all that stuff doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is if you're consistent. And I've been screaming that for the longest. And Hazard's been consistent. Although Bell hasn't been consistent, do you know what I mean? As much as everyone else. But Bell for me has what I call my X factor. The same thing Lab's got for Salah, you've got for Hazard, or I'm not sure who Jeff's got, but same thing who we guys got there. Like Taylor D's got Pepe, for example. God knows why he rates him. I don't know, but do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's got their players, innit? So yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing I will say with regards to that, you see when you asked Jalil and Rash that question, you also have to take into consideration how bad Liverpool were that year. So that's another thing that could have influenced their answer. Liverpool that year was shocking. This was last year, right?
Exactly. But then at the same time, I can say at the same time they've changed their mind because of what Salah's doing now.
I guess
I
can't measure that.
It's not like Salah was bad last year. Salah was not bad.
No, but I think.
He got you top 4.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Salah and Thiago got Liverpool top 4 because they turned up towards the end. So yeah, and Alisson.
You know what? It's a good debate. Big up Ted Adi saying Ain't City had like 5 Prems in the last 10 years. They have. So City have really been a dominant team. By the time Hazard joined, City were already well established. They just won a league title.
Money team though, isn't it?
Yeah,
for sure.
Hazard in 15-16 got 4 goals, 3 assists. Yeah, that was a shocking season. 17-18, 12 goals, 4 assists. Salah's lowest league tally for goal contribution for Liverpool's 22 goals, 5 assists. His lowest goal tally is 19 goals. You see,
you know what?
That to
John,
me
I'm
means
going to defend Hazard. Hazard.
That to me means nothing. I'll be honest.
I get that.
The 17-18 season, I think we're being a bit harsh. I think it was a bad season to his standard. But I don't think it was a bad... It's like Mane. Mane's season is bad to Mane's standard. But it's not a horrible season. Do you get what I'm saying? Like right now, Mane's apparently been crap. But let's be honest. Right now, he's one of the top goal scorers. But he's apparently been rubbish. So Hazard just set such a high standard that 2017-2018 was quite bad for him. It was quite bad. And then I think as well, because Salah that year was unreal. That's when Salah broke the record. He was unreal that year. Hazard and Chelsea were crap. That year, Chelsea were bad. They finished 5th.
Yeah. I don't even know how we got to this spot.
To be fair, I think there's because I've seen so much recently on social media and other YouTube platforms, the Salah Hazard thing. I don't know when it became popular.
A lot, yeah.
You've been seeing it too. It's become mad popular. Like, even yesterday, Hazard was trending on Twitter. When Salah Hazard started trending.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a madness right now. All I will say before we move on quickly, just to round up with United, is if you're looking at goals and Champions League, Salah always wins over Hazard. But I think if you want to have a proper debate, there's much more that can come into it where it really becomes. I think it's almost to the point now where it's almost who you prefer.
What you prefer, yeah.
It's almost got down to that point. I think it's got to that point where it's who you prefer. I agree.
And you have to measure him in 2 ways, I think. Like, if you're going on ability, like, Hazard in his prime was it was dumb. Like, Neymar in his prime is stupid. But if you go for, like, who would you rather for a team and who's going to deliver more, then you have a different question there. It's just too
John, I'm going to ask you a question. John. Because you are Arsenal fans, so let me ask you guys this question, actually. Because this question is mad. Because I actually... All right. Prime Alexis Sanchez or Prime Hazard? I'll take Alexis Sanchez. I'll take Prime Alexis Sanchez.
Yo,
I would take Prime. I will take Prime Alexis Sanchez personally. Personally, I'll take Prime Alexis Sanchez.
It's gotta be Hazard, man. I hear you. To be fair, Sanchez was amazing that one season. 30 goals.
Sanchez
was amazing.
Well, it's close.
It's close. If we're talking about Prime, I mean Prime Sanchez, then you got to bring in Prime Mahrez. He's got a shout because Prime Mahrez won a league for Leicester.
Prime Mahrez has a shout. Prime Ozil has a shout.
Why is this turning into the Slaughter Hazard session? Like leave him alone. No,
but here's the thing. Hazard being compared to a Prime Alexis Sanchez or a Prime Salah or a Prime, it's good. He's in the conversation. So the fact that he's in the conversation shows he's respected. I
think what's respected about Hazard is that with all these men, he's always the benchmark. He's always the one they say, this guy to Hazard, this guy to Hazard, this guy. I think soon Salah might be there already where people will start looking at him that same way. I think Hazard and Salah are kind of in a little bracket with probably Bale there too, them three. And then you could argue they're three of the best 5-10 Premier League wingers of all time.
It's weird because Salah will be in there, but if we're really honest, Salah is not a winger.
But
and then Jeff, that opens up a whole nother can of worms.
You know, let's do this another.
Yeah, we'll do this another. Yeah.
There's too much to say.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, let's leave this. Otherwise, we'll be here till midnight.
So let's do this. Let's do this. It comes at a good time, an international break, right? Let's get our debating hats on again, yeah, for the next show.
Let's do it.
We've got to do this wingers when we've got to have it out. We've got to put on our boxing gloves and have it out, man. Let's get the boys back on. Let's get all the boys. Ed needs to be there. You know, we need to get all the boys on.
How about Hazard top, bro?
It needs to happen because for the longest we've been talking about Bale, we've been talking about Hazard, we've been talking about Neymar, all these wingers we've been speaking about. It's time to have it out and do the top 10 and debate it out.
Let's break down each characteristic. Then we can really see who's better. Like we don't
have to go
by just stats. We can go by ability, vision, dribbling, all aspects of their positions.
And you know what? Because one thing I do want to clear up is that I rate Bale super highly, and I don't want you to think, Jeff, that I get onto Bale. The only reason is because Hazard has the inconsistent thing, which I hear, but Bale has that too, and I don't hear that as much for Bale. That's the only reason.
He's Welsh, he's British. Yeah.
That's the only reason. But Bale, Champions League finals, Copa del Rey final. You know, he was carrying a bummy Spurs team. You know what I'm saying? So
Bale's incredible, though. Bale's incredible.
His peak was scary, but
his peak. Yeah. All these guys.
He was handling a prime Maicon as well. To be fair.
He ended Michael's career.
Rest in peace, Michael.
He ended Michael's career. Yeah, he tore him apart, man.
Michael ended up at City. He got bought for like $6 million.
The only performance here that I think is similar was Ronaldinho against Real Madrid, where he scored the 2 goals from the halfway line, which is near the halfway line.
Performance up there with that one.
No. I'm saying it was pretty similar from where Bell ripped them from the halfway line. Bell was he was straight ripping people.
You know what? That's a good segue to end the show. Jalil, give me one performance that you remember from one player that you never forget.
One performance.
Yeah. It can be anyone. It literally doesn't matter. When you just came out after the game.
I'm gonna name one. That's mad, but it's my all-time favorite.
That's what I'm saying. It's whatever you came out with and you said, "Yo, I can't believe what I just saw from this guy today."
What, physically watched or on TV?
No, not live. Like on TV, whatever.
Yeah, Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes come back from retirement to save them winning the league. Fergie said, "Can you listen, mate? I know you can't see nothing. You're probably going deaf for the amount of times I've been shouting at you in the changing room, but you're pretty much disabled."
Easy.
No, but you're pretty much got a disability. Can you come and save our season? And to do that, like Paul Scholes for me will forever be the best player I've ever seen.
Okay, fair enough. I know how much you love Scholes. All right, go on, Lambs. Give me your performance.
It's two, man. It's two of them, and they were both against Liverpool. But whenever a player disrespects Liverpool, it sticks with me still. So two, and it's actually from Arsenal players. Leo Baptiste.
Oh, the 4 goals.
I think he scored 4 goals. Julio Baptiste shredded Liverpool.
What about Ashavin?
That's the second one I was going to say. Arshavin. You see Arshavin. You see Arshavin as a player.
I was gassed that day, man.
Arshavin was one of my favorite players, man, because there's one of the finishes he's done where he shot it with his left foot and he sliced it kind of.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Arshavin's crazy. But then if I'm gonna go, but if I'm gonna another just a honorable one to put out there is Balotelli against Germany. Yeah, that finish. I still say it. That finish is probably the best finish I've seen in my life. Like I'll keep it real with you. There's so arrogant to do that, but him to hit the ball like that from net, he was barely in the box. That for me, nah. Balotelli, yeah.
Okay, so you've given 3 good ones there. Jalil's given a good one. Go on, Jeff.
I got first one is R9 against Man United. He destroyed them, man.
Jesus Christ, that one was
embarrassing. And then I got another one. Yes, that's the next one.
Even Kaka.
Kaka. When he headed it between Heinze and someone, and they nearly knocked each other out. That was crazy.
That was mad. And
then my last one is Owen against Arsenal.
Owen against Arsenal.
In the FA Cup final, he destroyed us.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you reminded me, Jeff, because I was gonna say that Kaka one. That one was mad. This one people probably won't remember, but there was a time when Arsenal beat AC Milan 2-0 at the San Siro, where no English had ever beaten them, and the masterclass that Fabregas put on that day in midfield.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
I am playing.
Remember the goal?
The goal
was crazy.
When he scored that goal,
that was crazy. It's like 35 yards out.
Goal, that one, and then after that, I'm trying to think, is there any more? To be fair, it's mad because obviously I love Ronaldo, but I don't think he's given me one game like that where I'm just like, wow. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd say that Kaka.
Are you sure?
I'd need to think about it properly, but I'd say that Kaka one, that what's it called? That Fabregas one, and I'm trying to think if there's another one. It's probably not even for how he played, but that game where Henry scored 2 goals against Wigan and did that celebration to the ref.
Is that enough?
This guy, you can't touch him. Big up Henry, man. Big up Henry.
There's another.
Maybe we should do that too. Sorry.
Remember Suarez? Remember Suarez versus Arsenal? He didn't even score, and the performance is that crazy, and he even scored. Suarez is crazy, man.
Then we offered 40 million a pound.
Yeah, and he hit the post like first couple minutes in the volley.
You know what? I almost forgot to say this one, but another great performance was Xhaka against Burnley last year, where he set up Burnley.
We got to end it here.
That's perfect to end it. No, but you know what? We should actually do an episode. Could do an episode like that one day and actually judge the best performances we've seen, like, and rank it the same way, like.
That'll be a good one, man. Because that's one where we can all enjoy, because performances that we remember that triggers the nostalgia, and that's football. You know what I'm saying? So obviously,
I like that.
You know, probably going to pick one where Ramos got a red card for a double foot and then elbowed someone on the way off.
I'm gonna put Ramos and Pepe together. How about that?
Hey, no, this guy's looking to kill someone.
Oh man!
Hey, but now listen, people. It's been a great episode. I can't lie. It's been a good engagement as well. We're gonna try and play around with the times. We're gonna take a little break now for international break. But big up Lambs for joining us as always. Great to have you on, my brother. Jeff Jalil, amazing as always. And obviously, Rash couldn't make it today for personal reasons. But, we're thinking of him. I know he'll be back very soon. So big up Rash. And obviously his words, we don't forget. What I'm saying, keep yourself aware of all the oppression that's going on. Man, the world keeps fighting so many battles, but let's make sure we stay on top of them and do what we can. But and remembering that love always wins. But until then, people, we'll be back very soon. Big up everyone in the building. Big up CJ, man. Love to you. Saying rest in peace, Chig. And then big up Rash. Saying my guy's love always wins. And let's end it on that one. My guy Rash. And man, people, we're out. Have a good night. Peace and love. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.